there is something to that tale Aroa spun. There have been more and more oddities happening of late. All manner of never before seen beasts, people getting lost in places that look familiar but are somehow a bit off, and so much more that I could mention. At first I figured the beastmen were behind it all, but now I'm not so sure. We gotta take stock of the situation and dig up any common threads. Ideally, you'd be wanting to talk to my daughter Lion. A bit of a tomboy, that one, but there are none in the middle ends as could match her clue-gathering skills. There's just a small question of where she ran off to this time. We made Norg our headquarters about 30 years ago. She bolted out of here a couple of days ago, asserting that the best way to ascertain the Beastmen Confederate plans was to put out feelers amongst allies in the three nations. It stands to reason, then, that she's either in Bastok, Sandoria, or Windurst. Then you might run across her during the course of some Beastman-related missions. Head back to your home nation and follow up on that threat first. Oh, that's interesting. So it kind of encourages you to go back and do your home nation stuff anyway, which is what we were going to do next anyway. That's neat. That's a neat idea that Square Enix put this together. This is all new to me. Oh, I think that's the thing, Rhapsody in White. I think that allows us to summon an extra trust. Pale yellow orb given you by Aroa that can light the way to the future. A lot of stuff in here we haven't even looked at. Colorful images float before your eyes as you listen to this ancient tune. I think the Rhapsody in White is what actually allows you to summon a fourth trust, so we might actually be able to have a party of 5 now. Let's, I imagine we don't have a map of this place either. No, we do not. Definitely gonna have to do some farming here soon, make some money. Let's go to Bastok Markets. Oh, and the Rhapsody in White also lowers the cost of teleporting through home points now by I think about 80%. So instead of paying 500 gil for a teleport, we're paying 100 gil. Much better. We're in dire need of some new gear. But before we do anything, I just want to see if this will actually work. So we'll summon Kupipi, Sid, Kultada, and see if we can summon one more. Oh, yes. Unfortunately, we can't summon a 6th one just yet, but I imagine as we advance through those missions, we'll get to that point. So now we can have 4 people with us. That is awesome. Super stoked about that. I'd read that that was something that you would get, but I didn't expect that you would get it so quickly. Hey everyone, Pierso86 here. Thank you for joining me again. Welcome back. The footage that you just watched was from my last recording session. Unfortunately, the last video was getting to be a little on the long side. And I'm trying to keep my videos to about the 20 to 30 minute length. That there might be special exceptions to that depending what we're dealing with. So I've done some things off camera. As you can see, we've got some new gear. We've got the Ison gear. So there's a whole bunch of different pieces of gear here. I went ahead and also got us a bow as well too, and a new shield, and a new sword as well. I also went ahead and got warrior up to level 30 because we're going to flag the Dark Knight flag quest, which also is continued, kind of triggered by going to Palborough Mines, which is where we're going next anyway for mission 1-3. And I've also gone ahead and handed in a bunch of million corn to that Selbina quest, the one that I told you guys about with the sheep that is a big fame booster. That way we have options for more quests. And I even went ahead and got a map for Palborough Mines. I know that's a huge shocker considering how many places we've gone to without maps. And I bought some other maps too as well for like Bastok area, Windurst area, just so able to navigate a little better. So we're going to have a chat with this guy and see if he'll give us a quest. The workers in the mines and those who went out to avenge them. Many of my brethren were slain by the Quadav. I want the Quadav to pay for what they did, so that the souls of my fallen comrades may rest in peace. I want you to go to the Quadav stronghold in Badooks and kill as many of them as you can. Bring me back a Quadav helm as proof of your deeds, and I will reward you. Oh, I thought that was a quest for Palborough Mines. I guess if a Quadav helm does drop there, we can still use that. Okay, so the NPC we're looking for the Dark Knight flag quest is Gumba. He's a young little Galka, and he's going to give us information we need to get that started. I figure with us going to do 1-3, we can also hit two birds with one stone there. Okay, here's Gumba's house now. Let's have a chat with him. Were set out on his journey of rebirth. I'm not upset. I knew it had to happen sooner or later. He wasn't feeling that good, but he would always hide it whenever someone would visit. I guess he was just worried about the people he would leave behind. He was always like that. Oh. Okay. Let's try that again. Hi. You know, we also had a visitor before Wary left. I apologize for bothering you again. I wish to speak with you about Zaid. Hey Wary, the Musketeer's back again. Captain Volker, we Galka would also like to know of Zaid's whereabouts, but none of us knows where he might be. You must understand, I cannot continue to perform my duties with a clear conscience unless I know what became of him. As you know, Zaid is the one who should be leading the Mithril Musketeers, not I. Is it your uncle you think of when you say this? True, many Galka were upset by his appointment as captain after Raugrim disappeared, but we do not feel the same way about you. As Zaid is different from Raugrim, you are different from your uncle. It is not because of my uncle, sir. I'm glad to hear that. I now feel safe in telling you that a Dark Knight was sighted in the Palborough Mines. He is very powerful, I am told. Then it is. That is all I know. So, why are there less Dark Knights since Zaid disappeared? Any idea? Zaid did, in a sense, create his own version of the art, passed down since the glory days of Altepa, and it is not something one can master with skill alone. It is said that only the few who can tame the dark flames that burn within their soul, feeding on their sorrow and hatred, are chosen. That's one of the last things I remember Wary saying. Say, why don't you go find Zaid yourself? Maybe he can teach you to become a Dark Knight. Though Wary once told me that the road to becoming one is not an easy one to take. There we go. So if we go into the quest log and go to Bastok, we got Blade of Darkness. So that's the flag quest to unlock Dark Knight. And that's why I wanted to get Warrior, because when we last left off, we were at 29. So that's why I went out to the dunes off camera and just got us up to level 30, just so we could flag that quest. So we haven't been out to this branch of North Gustaberg in a good while. So we're going to cross west over Obier Creek and then north up the Zeki Creek up there. And the Palborough Mines will be just up in that top little dip there, that top little corner. So the Palborough Mines, as NPCs have mentioned it used to be a mine that was used by the people of Bastok, but it was overrun by the Quadav, and the mine is theirs now. They control it. So that's where we're going to go to try and get these fetich pieces for mission 1-3. We already lucked out and got one of the 4 pieces while we were in Conchitat Highlands earlier. So we only need 3 pieces. We're also a much higher level than I expected we would be going into that mission. So that will be very helpful. I think we'll be fine. Most of the Quadavs that we run into in the beginning of the mine won't even bother us. Plus, we've also got 4 companions when we get there as well, too. So this should be a pretty smooth run. And given the fact that we are level 30, we'll have no problem going through the other missions as they come up. After we finish this mission, that will get us rank 2 in Bastok, and then we'll be able to fly through the second tier missions quite easily. Don't move. Oh, missed. Let's try again. Missed. Alright, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. He did. Yeah, I figured while we're in there we can work on our archery skill a little bit, just for the hell of it. I also went ahead and picked up a battle axe as well, too. Warriors, a great weapon of choice for a warrior. Like, I'm more of a sword and shield guy, but a great choice for a warrior is actually a one-handed axe, or even a two-handed axe. So this one's one-handed axe. We have 0 skill with a one-handed axe, but I figure while we're in there we can use that and skill that up a little bit. Oh, another thing to point out as well, too. So I also leveled up Monk to level 15. Decided to do that off camera just because we were just doing it as a support job. When I get around to actually playing Monk as a main job, we'll definitely get some footage of that. But for now, it's up to level 15. So if we get Warrior up to level 31, 32, Monk will stay at level 15 because that's the highest I've gotten it to. So because we're using it as a support job, we have some job traits like martial arts. That increases speed of hand-to-hand attacks, which really doesn't matter for us as a warrior. Subtle blow reduces the amount of TP gained by enemies when striking them. So we've just got some different abilities here. And for job abilities, we've got boost, which enhances the damage of your next attack. And we've also got dodge as well, which enhances your evasion and guard rate. So those are Monk abilities. But because we're playing Monk as a secondary job, we get access to those abilities. We don't get access to Monk's 1 hour ultimate ability, which is called 100 Fists, which is basically just a punch over and over again as quick as possible. You only get access to that if you're playing Monk as your main job. And here's the entrance to Palborough Mines. We're finally here. I've got to say I'm glad I picked up a map, because the last time I came in here on another character, I got pretty friggin' lost trying to find my way out. So yeah, we can definitely see these mines, or this tunnel's not in the best shape. Swarming with Quadav. All these ones are just the weak ones that we find in Gustaberg, so they're not going to bother us. So this area is an example of a place with multiple maps. So you can see that where we're heading up north and to the right, the map kind of just trails off into nothing. It's going to be leading us into a different map. So it's not just one map for this area, there's a few. As much as I like having a printed physical map in front of me, the computer map really wins out on this one because it'll actually tell you which area that you're in, whereas you kind of have to guesstimate otherwise. Oh, look at that. Qu'Vho Deathhurler. We've got a Notorious monster Quadav right up there. I feel like he's not going to be very tough. So let's just take Kapipi just so we have a healer. And we're going to fight him with an axe that we've never used. Because we make good sound decisions when we game. Let's go ahead and try this dodge move out. Make it a little harder for him to hit us. Not entirely sure what this guy drops. Oh, there we go. But I guess we'll find out if he drops anything. I'm pretty sure I fought this guy before on a different character. Oh, that's his gimmick. He just spams ore toss over and over again. Right. That could be pretty perilous if we were significantly lower level. And he didn't drop jack shit, other than some money. Well, that's too bad. I got stuck on a rock there. You'll have to bear with me a bit. I don't really remember my way around here too well. Well, I totally went the wrong way. Let's try that again. We're going to try heading east and then south here and see if that gets us where we want to go. I'm trying to get deeper into the mine where the mine's a little more developed. Like I said, I just don't quite remember it as well as I used to, so we'll keep hunting here and I'm sure eventually we'll get it. One nice recent feature that they did add for these dungeons is, oh, that's a mining point there. One nice feature that they did add to these dungeons is that when you do get deep inside, they actually put a book in there. So if we ever need to come to the deep recesses of Palborough Mines, we'll actually be able to bookport once we're able to tag that. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. So, on my other character, I've been in here a few times, and I swear there are these characters that are just running around 24/7 in here, just killing Quadav. And I'm almost starting to wonder if it's someone with multiple accounts and they just have a bunch of these characters that are basically bots just running around. Because I swear, every time I come in here, they're in here, running around, just killing shit indiscriminately. The only problem with having those guys running around is that there's going to be some competition, but that's alright, we'll make do. So as you can see, we're kind of in a more developed part of the mine now, and it's still teeming with Quadav, and they are stronger than the ones we were running into. If we go even deeper into the mine, we'll actually find an even higher tier of Quadav that I'm pretty sure would still aggro and attack us, even being at level 30. We would be fine. We would be fine having a group of 5. Geez, these guys have cleared out all the Quadav. This might be a little tricky here. So I have a funny story regarding these gates here. Years ago, I was playing this with one of my best friends. I was playing a thief, and he was playing a red mage. And we were about the same level, maybe lower than what Mr. Pierso is right now. So anyways, we come in, and my buddy and I can't even remember exactly why we were in here. I think we might have been trying to get keys for the Kazam airship pass. Yeah, I think that was it. He decides, while we're on the other side of one of those closed gates, that it would be a good idea to cast Dia on a Quadav on the other side. Because a lot of times when you aggro an enemy, they'll, like if they're at the bottom of a cliff, they'll climb the side of that cliff so they can get to you. Or they'll, oh, here's some Quadav for us. or they'll, you know, go through a barricade of some sort or whatever to get to you. Well, this Quadav just turns around and rushes off to locations unknown. And we're like, oh, well, he's gone. Well, chances are he'll probably just, you know, run away, despawn, and because he's too far away from us. So we just keep doing what we're doing. No real thought to it. And this Quadav eventually rushes in with like 20 other Quadavs that he linked, traversing the entire mine to get to us. And we're like, oh fuck. So we end up fighting off all 20 plus of these Quadav. My buddy dies, and I like barely survive. I had to use my perfect dodge 1 hour, 2 hour ability. It was 2 hour ability back then. And holy shit, like I had to pull out all the stops just to survive. And meanwhile, my buddy's dead, and I can't raise him. And he's like, dude, that was worth the EXP loss. That was great. Yeah, it was a funny moment. It was kind of a you had to be there thing, but anybody who's played this game before and has screwed around like that knows the hilarity when you suddenly have 20 to 30 enemies pissed off and out for your head coming after you like that, just because you did something stupid. Still don't have an axe weapon ability yet. Oh, we just got Raging Axe. Let's try that out. Oh, not bad. Cool, we got the Quadav fetich head. So we've got the head, we've got the torso. So I think we just need the hands and the feet now. Hopefully that'll go well with all these people wandering around. Yeah, they must be camped out getting materials. I saw one of them crafting a gravitational sphere or something. This must be how his guy makes his gill. Let's see what's over here. You can see there. Oh, actually, sorry, no, it's not a book. It's an actual home point crystal that's at the end of this dungeon. So we'll need to make sure that we go tag that. That looks like a dead end of rocks. So we'll have to go a different way. Oh, looks like there's somebody else here. I wonder if they're doing the same mission that we're doing. This map can be a little tricky because it looks like it's fairly easy to get around, but it's hard to tell which areas are open and which are closed. So you got to get a little creative with how you get around. In this case, we've practically got to run back to the beginning just so we can get around. Okay, I think the way we need to go is down this way, I think. Trying to get down to that home point crystal so we can get that flagged. So these Quadav down here are the stronger Quadav. They're showing up as easy prey for us, even at level 30. We might still be able to get fetich pieces off of them. I'm not sure. But I know these guys also drop the keys that you need for an airship pass to Kazam, which is an expansion area. I don't know if it's entirely necessary to get that airship pass anymore, but for nostalgia's sake, if he happens to drop the key, we'll definitely hang on to it. Let's see. This guy gonna aggro us? Nope. We're still gonna fight him though. So this is about as nasty as the Quadavs get in this place. So once you're about level 30, it's not too bad. Being in here was a little perilous back in the day because you didn't have truss. But what's this? Snapping mold, diminutive Variety of mole inhabits Gusberg region. Snapping moles are very aggressive and are known to bite miners' ankles. Well, that's shitty. Kind of reminds me, I used to do security at a university here where I live, and we're actually known for having rattlesnakes on property. And what would sometimes happen is rattlesnakes would actually get into the ventilation up on one of the patios, and they would fall down to the mechanical space on the basement level. And we actually had a guy that was doing work in one of the mechanical spaces, and he had like noise protection earmuffs on, and yeah, basically couldn't hear anything. So can't hear the rattle of the snake, and the snake managed to get into the mechanical space and struck at him while he was doing his work. Fortunately, he didn't get bit, and the snake was removed by someone from the city. But because they're a protected species up where we live, just due to their numbers being really small. But yeah, kind of the snapping mole thing kind of reminds me of that a little bit. They got the miners here have snapping moles. We have snapping snakes. There's that crystal. Yeah, this is going really well so far. Oh, this will be super helpful the next time we have to come back here.